First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista, hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to your Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
Well, as usual, let's start with sports. You've got a soccer game tonight.
We have a soccer game. ALA, American Leadership Academy, will be playing Maricopa tonight. And Maricopa is amazing. They're number one in the state. It's a very, very good team. Very seniorish team, which means they got a lot of older kids on the team. We're a very young school. But we're playing them at 5 o'clock tonight at Keith Hampton Field. So come out and see the girls. And let me just say, these ALA girls, they're young, but they're playing so well. They are. Give them a couple of years, and this team's going to be something to look at. But so we play at 5 o'clock. There is a co-ed game, which is kind of people ask, what's this co-ed league? Co-ed is the boys didn't get their season in the fall because it's a brand new high school. So the new schools around the state actually put a co-ed league together. So you got to have 7 boys, 4 girls. So we have that game before. We're going to come out and watch a little soccer before that, and this is their boys varsity. They did have a boys team though, but they jumped into that league, and they're very good too. So either way, this is a very good team coming down from Maricopa tonight. It should be a very good competition, and we're coming off the heels of a loss of a 5-4 loss game we had the other night, and let me just say those girls played so well. We were up 3-1 at one time, and then we got 2 PKs. Penalty kicks in the box, which are kind of freebie shots, and we lost 5-4 with like 3 minutes to go. So it was an amazing game. This was a very good team also. But again, I told the girls, I said, keep your chins up. I tell you, you guys are a very, very good team, and you're young enough that in a couple of years you'll be making a statement for ALA and the area here. So, but tonight 5 o'clock, if you want to watch them co-ed, I think starts off at 3:30, something like that. And but it should be some fun soccer if you got nothing else going on tonight.
And you've been busy anyway, like usual. So last night you went to Paradise Valley and you met with some people, and I think it was a really good outcome.
It was, Carol, and I tell you, yesterday was a day from the time I got up till midnight, 12:30 in the morning when I got home. It was a long day. Anytime you have to drive to Phoenix, especially Paradise Valley, going through Phoenix, I went through there at 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and beautiful traffic, let me just say that. But long story short is we met some folks. We presented on pretty much how are we protecting people here at the border, to include kids. That was the topic. And Vicki, who hosted it, she's an entrepreneur. She does a lot of foundation work, helping out kids that have been trafficked, things like that. There was a lot of folks there last night, a lot of influential people from the state and from government all the way through. And so it was an honor to go up there. Commander Watkins, Lieutenant Ray McNeely, and all of us went up there last night and just gave a presentation of the good works going on here in Cochise County. The Mayor Douglas was up there last night too, and they're working on, we talked about last night too afterwards, a Boys and Girls Club for Douglas. So we talked about that last night. So this is stuff they want to help. But something that came out of it that we've been working with Vicki and her foundation a lot on is the fact that our mental health care team, our first responder care team, which is a team of professional mental health people that respond to incidents that we hope we can alleviate a crisis. And so that's on a grant, and we're so appreciative to the Legacy Foundation for getting that up and going with us. We have 4 professionals and a doctor that works with us out there 24/7 for you. So if you need someone on care, give us the Sheriff's Office a call or give CCOM a call, and they'll have somebody dispatch that. But so it looks like this foundation is going to help us and continue that program. And for rural America, rural Cochise County, to have a mental health response team is incredible. So it looked like that happened again last night too. So they're very fond of what we're doing down here. A lot of positive recognition for Cochise County, our border interdiction, our programs, our intervention, our prevention, you name it. We couldn't have got enough praise last night. So it was so nice to see these people that just wanted to hear. And they came out last night, and they did this in a home. Now, I just got to say this. It was a amazing home. I'll just say up in Paradise Valley. I've never been to Paradise Valley, but what a very, very nice town. I mean, we drove through when I first got there going, wow. And but this home was just 6,000-7,000 square foot home, and just it's like walking into an auditorium. It was so cool. But either way, we made some nice headway last night, and again, we came out on the top end of that when it comes to what we're doing here in Cochise County.
And tomorrow is going to be a fundraiser, and the whole family is invited to come out. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's Cars for Kids. We've talked about it the last few shows. That kicks off tomorrow morning, so registration is from 8 to 10. tomorrow at Hobby Lobby Cal Ranch parking lot. We shut the whole parking lot. In fact, at 10 o'clock this morning, we start the process of getting that parking lot ready, from dumpsters, porta pots, you name it. But we're hoping to hit 300 cars this year, and it's free to come out there. Registration for cars, you got to pay for that, but it's free to the public. Come out, walk it. At 2 o'clock, we have an auction. We have 20 auction items, but I wanted to hit on one of them. I think it's very, very neat. First time we've ever done it. Thanks to Bergs and Right Way, the heating HVAC folks here in this area. They have donated a HVAC system for a home to include equipment and installation up to $20,000. We're going to auction that off tomorrow at 2 o'clock, about 2:30. But what an opportunity if you're remodeling a home or you're building a home and you need an HVAC system. You can't go wrong here. And this is going to be an auction item. So we'll see where it goes. And Tyler and Beth and Mike, all from Bergs and Right Way, respectively, thank you so much for stepping up. I want to thank the Morris Automotive Group and Hatfield's Cool Window Tint. I could go on. We've raised, thanks to these folks, with their sponsorship. And this is a cost-free show. So every dollar we collect from the community goes toward the kiddos. Very little cost on this show, but we've raised over $50,000 so far for the Boys and Girls Club, and then our outreach with the FOP, Fraternal Order Police. So we're really excited about it. We're hoping to make this a record year with our auction items, registration, and raffles, and all the other stuff. Plus, we have a $1,000 gift card, and another, I believe I got a $500 one too, that we're giving out at the end of the show for the raffle. Just a little coupon. If you get called, that's you, but you got to be present to win. Got to be present to win. So that goes about 3:30. So, again, come out, see us tomorrow. Come out, and we got a law enforcement display of all the law enforcement stuff, from SWAT vehicles to patrol cars, and the fire trucks will be out there. So bring the kiddos out. They'll love doing that. And it's just a public safety show for kids, cops and kids. How do you go wrong? And we'll have food vendors out there too. So if you like that food vendor stuff, we got about 4 food vendors coming out there with us tomorrow. And again, it's just a good, like you said, Grady, family show. Come on out, join us. And but thank you to all our businesses. We'll be ringing their names tomorrow throughout the day that made this possible. Thank you.
And you were also busy with the Western State Sheriff's Association, your first meeting as president.
Yeah, so I'm the new president of Western State Sheriffs, which is the sheriffs west of the Mississippi. And so I had my first meeting. So heading to Paradise Valley, like I was talking a minute ago. So I had one of my lieutenants drive while I was on virtual trying to do this. We had to pull over a couple of times because the reception got bad. But it was a great meeting, and we're doing some really good things, helping sheriffs throughout the United States, and especially the Western State folks, and some of the programs we're going to be coming out with here very soon. But again, whenever you have the opportunity and the trust from your colleagues, your fellow sheriffs, to lead an organization, it's impressive. And I also chair the Southwest Border Sheriffs. I'm the president of that also. So, and there's 4 associations, so 2 out of 4 I'm doing. It's going to be a very busy year. Let me just say that, but it's still an honor. And I'll be in Austin here in a couple weeks, Texas, having a border security meeting with our border sheriffs and our federal law enforcement. So again, it just goes back to, working for the cause, trying to keep Cochise County safe, but also, and I'm just going to say that, applaud the men and women that wear the badge, state, local, and federal, that have made it safe down here in Cochise County, and we've done our job.
Well, let's talk a little bit about scams. There's always ongoing scams, but every once in a while something new pops up.
It does. These scams, it's just, you read about them, we hear about them, people talk to me about it, they send me texts. The toll. We've talked about the toll, where somebody sends you, hey, you got late tolls, you got to pay the fine, check on this. That's a scam. They're not going to send you it on your, how would they know your cell number or any of that? So just delete it. Just delete it. I tell people, just delete that. That's a big one right now. But we heard a sad story yesterday that Carol was talking to us about a citizen here in the county that lost a substantial elderly too, and that's what we worry about, Carol.
Right, and then it actually came to light when the bank accounts were closed, and it's unfortunate. Adult Protective Services got into the mix, and I'm not sure what the outcome will be, but it had to be undoubtedly their entire life savings.
Yes.
And even though they're elderly, that's their money, that's their life savings, and they need that to continue living. So it's over $88,000, and people are like, how could you fall for that? It's easy. I mean, it is easy. You don't know the tactics and the manipulation that goes into this, because these people are so good at stealing your money.
Yeah, and they're creepy. Let's just be real. Let's call them what they are. They're creepy people that prey on people's innocence and trust. It's really what they're doing. I mean, especially elderly that, oh, I got this, I got to take care of this, let me push this, let me give you this. Folks, if somebody calls you on a phone, verify it. Call us. Call law enforcement. That's the biggest thing I can say to you. Let us verify it, because these creepy people will run from us, I promise you. Let us verify. Do not give personal information. I don't care what it takes. Do not get information to you have confirmed through a family member that can do a little research, especially, but call us. We're not going to be upset if you call us. I'd rather have you call us. Let's look into it and say, no, that's good. That's a good thing. Then just the opposite, where they take like this elderly couple now that's lost everything. They've lost everything, and I just feel horrible for them.
And we also we do check on these things. And we had a Hereford resident. She got a box before she went to a business meeting, and she was afraid. She didn't order anything from Amazon, and she was just terrified that it would be some incendiary device or whatnot. Put it in the trunk of her car and drove to the Tucson airport and went on her trip. Notified us that, hey, she didn't want this box coming back to her house. So we actually had our officers meet her at 10 o'clock at night in Benson to take possession of this fake box. And that's where they put the information in there saying, hey, they count on people saying, I didn't order this, and they click on a QR code, and then they're sucked in. And so we just have to make sure that everybody understands there's so many different ways that they can steal your money from you.
They're always thinking. And they're thinking with a mind that the reasonable person doesn't think about. But that box one's a first, too. I mean, so if you get a weird box, be careful with that, and if there's something that says scan this for... Don't do that. Don't do that. Call us again. And I commend her. I saw the emails. I saw the contact with her, working with you, Carol, to make sure that she did the right thing. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, who knows what would happen with her assets.
Well, let's talk about the wind for a little bit, and that's going to take us into Ready, Set, Go and Alert Sense. But first, let's talk about wind and fire safety right now.
Arizona spring brings that Arizona wind, and so many people. I'd rather have it rain. I have all these things, but Mother Nature's her season. Okay, 'tis the season. But that wind's been horrible this week. In fact, we had a soccer game that was canceled that day because the wind was so bad. That's the day that the bus accident up in Marana, so our team couldn't get here anyway because they couldn't get through that. They're coming out of Phoenix. But also we had the trucker accident up on Bowie, Wilcox area. It looked like a really bad accident. But this wind is bad. It truly is. So, again, just something we got to deal with, something we need to address, and on that, and then look at the fires, wind, and dryness, and the fires we're addressing. We've had a couple fires this week, and I just did a safety message for one of the news stations out of Tucson, but we need to be prepared. And the Ready, Set, Go is a program established with the sheriffs here in Arizona and beyond, where you got to be ready. You got to be set to go, and that means prepare yourself that if there is a fire that you have to evacuate, that you have your precious records, your personal belongings that you want to take. Again, we're not moving out couches and stuff, but what you choose to do, that'd be up to you. But the bottom line, when we come to your house, say, hey, get ready. Hopefully you're set. And then we come back and say, you got to go. The fire's moving in. You got to go. And now there's people that say, hey, I'm staying. You have that choice. Let me just be clear on that. You have that choice. We're not going to drag you out of your house. But again, once we leave you behind the fire line, you're hearing God's hands. I'm just saying that. We want you to go. But part of it is that preparation, too. And that goes for livestock. It truly does. And we have our ranch advisory group, our ranchers out there that have been great partners to get livestock out. So if you have that, we got that preparation set for you, too. So we bring those teams in to get them out on that. But last but not least, I got to say this. Make sure your property is clear of debris. It's mowed down. All the things you need to do to... Because when the fire hits, it's too late to think about mowing. It's way too late. So, again, preparation's everything, but be ready, set, go.
And Alert Sense is part of that component. People need to understand that that's the premier way that we correspond with people and communicate. So get on our webpage and cochise.az.gov/sheriff. Sign up for Alert Sense. Go to the county's webpage, sign up for Alert Sense, because you can put your parameters in there on what you want to be notified of. But that, again, is the mass notification system that we use for the county, and that's the best and only way, typically, that you're going to get the fastest, most accurate information.
And Alert Sense it's a notification onto your phone. It's right. The greatest way. And it doesn't go just for fires. Any critical event that we think the public needs to be notified, whether it's somebody... a criminal investigation that's, hey, we're looking for a suspect, he's running through there. We want you to know that. So it's a great way to communicate, technology at its best, and so we think it's awesome to do it that way.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
All right. Thanks, Grady, and thanks, Carol. And again, hope we see you at Cars for Kids tomorrow. Stop by and say hi to everybody. Thank you, everyone.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Cochise College, for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what we're going to talk about today.
Sure. My name is Robin Martin, and I'm the Assistant Dean for Marketing, Communications, and Advancement at the college. And so I'm excited to talk about our event next Friday, the Cochise College Expo, which will be on our Sierra Vista campus. And it really is a huge, massive open house where we're showcasing all of the programs that the college has to offer. So it's just a fun way for people to come out, see us, talk to staff and faculty, hear from other students, and really get to see what the college has to offer.
Is this the first time that you've ever done this, or you've had several?
We have had several. I believe this is the 4th year that we've done it. So each year we tweak it a little bit, but it is indoor, outdoor. There's going to be booths set up, fun activities. It really is about interacting, having activities, people having hands-on activities within those programs to see what it's really like.
And I think some of the thing is it's a good way to share information on what Cochise College has to offer, because you guys have so many things going on, and maybe people are not aware of how affordable and how effective Cochise College is for the entire community.
Oh yes, for sure. And this one is unique because we have so many programs at both of our campuses and around the county, and so all of those are being brought to one location. So it's kind of a one-stop shop to learn about how do I apply? What the admission process is like? How do I get financial aid? But then also, what is welding like? I didn't know. What is it for the police? You know, we have police academy. We're going to have our first responders, nursing, allied health. Like, we have staff and faculty that walk around sometimes because you forget when you're immersed in it all. We have these things to offer. So it really is a lot of fun, and even if you've been to the college or you think you know what we have, I still encourage people to come. If you have a family member or a friend who's thinking about coming to college, going back to college, looking for advancement in their career, this is the one event that I would encourage people to go to.
And I think especially if you have kids who are even in high school, because there's so much integration in high schools now with community colleges, and specifically Cochise College, where you have dual accreditation. I'm sorry.
The dual enrollment, yeah.
Dual enrollment. Yeah. So I think that that's really important, that, you know, you can spend time with your kids in a fun environment, find out what's going on, and just you can figure out how to double dip and get more bang for your buck.
For sure. And this year we're going to do some smaller roundtable info sessions, and so our representative from dual enrollment will be there. So they'll be providing some more information where it's kind of not a one-on-one because it's smaller tables, but that opportunity for people to ask questions directly, and they'll have some tips and information for applying for those programs. So yeah, exploring, this is a great way to just explore what's out there, especially if you have high school students that really don't know what they want to do for their career. This is a great way for them to get exposed to some different ideas.
And you mentioned, paying for school, financing scholarships, all that. Talk a little bit about that.
So we will have staff there that can talk about the financial aid process and when those windows for them to apply for FAFSA for their applications. There will be a representative talking about the different scholarships that the college itself offers. We have our senior scholarship, so any high school student who graduates from a high school in Cochise County has a guaranteed scholarship at Cochise College. So that's just one way, one scholarship that there will be information about that, but then external to the college as well.
And so one of the things, and you just mentioned it, and we had talked about it maybe a year ago about the senior scholarships.
Yeah.
People don't know that, and that's really important information for them to know, especially if you do have someone who's going to graduate and they don't know what they're going to do with their life. What better way to jump into, like, basically getting educated for free, and just see if that's something that you're going to continue on with or not. And then the FAFSA, I think that's really important because I think that's intimidating for a lot of people. It's a lot of paperwork. It's maybe confusing. I've had to go through it a couple different times, and I'm so glad that you guys offer the hand-holding, if you will, because people need that. And if they don't have it, they're not going to do it, and they're just missing out on so much.
Yeah, and we have great staff, and that's what they're there for, is to help. So even if you can't make it out to this event, I still encourage call, email, reach out to the financial aid staff, because they will be able to answer those questions, help walk you through those applications.
We'll invite everybody out one more time. Give us dates, times, and locations.
Next Friday, 4:30 to 6:30 at the Sierra Vista campus.
Well, thanks for coming and talking to us today, Robin.
All right, thank you.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much, Michelle, for being here from Lori's Place.
Thank you guys for having me.
So tell us a little bit about what the event is that's coming up.
So Lori's Place is hosting our 3rd annual Golf Classic. It's going to be on May 30th at Mountain View Golf Course. It is going to be a scramble. We're doing 7 o'clock check-in with an 8 o'clock shotgun start, post-round buffet and raffle and prizes and awards and everything to follow, and it is a great time.
And so what does all of this lead up to? What is the funding go to?
So the funding, all of the proceeds are going directly to Lori's Place to basically help us stay operating. It costs about $45,000 a month for us to operate right now, and we're struggling with that. So we're going to take all the proceeds, and everything will go to operational costs, just so that we can keep our doors open, so that we can continue to help victims of violent crime throughout Cochise, Graham, and Greenlee counties.
Let's dig a little bit more on actually what Lori's Place does. Why will people want to give you money? Because what you do is amazing.
Thank you. So Lori's Place is the Cochise Family Advocacy Center, and what that is we work with law enforcement, with the county attorney's office, with DCS. We work with basically victims of crime: assault, sexual assault, domestic violence, child abuse, rape, child neglect, human trafficking. We see those people, they give us a call, either from law enforcement, or somebody will call us that they've got somebody that needs to be seen. They'll come in. They automatically get a victim advocate that is there with them through every step of the process. We collect evidence. We do forensic medical exams. We do forensic interviews. We actually are getting a bilingual forensic interviewer next week, so that's going to be great. We have peer support. We also, of course, victim advocacy. We also do court accompaniment and orders of protection and the address confidentiality program. So it's a lot. We see people on their very worst days and try and help them through the trauma that they've experienced, so that they can go from being victims to survivors.
And so one of the things, when did you start doing Lori's Place? I mean, let us know how long you've been working towards this.
So Lori's Place opened in 2016. It was a dream of Lori's for about 15 years. She couldn't get a building, and she was just facing all these different issues with trying to open, so that victims that have suffered these traumatic events don't have to be seen in the emergency room. And we can make sure that they get the follow-up care for mental health and everything that's needed afterwards, where in the emergency room we're never really sure what the follow-up care was. So it's been a long few years, but we love what we do, and if you ask any of the staff that works there, we're thrilled to do what we do every day.
And you mentioned that law enforcement often reaches out to you for things, but the public can also reach out to you.
Absolutely.
Tell us how to do that.
If the public wants to contact us, if they need services, they can call us at 520-515-4444. That is a 24-hour crisis line. And if they want to report suspected domestic violence or abuse, they can make an anonymous report just by calling that number. So they can also go to our website. You can contact us through our website, which is loriesplaceaz.org, or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Lori's Place AZ 2022.
And let's talk about the golf tournament a little bit.
Yes.
I'm sure you have a lot of people you'd like to thank.
I do. Right now, we've got Rutherford Diversified Industries, we've got Herald Review Media, Antelope Run Electric, and of course Sheriff Daniels is a sponsor this year. Again, So those are our sponsors so far. I'm expecting to have quite a few more sign up. I can take 144 players, and I'd like to hit that number this year.
And prizes. Let's talk about prizes for a bit.
Oh boy, raffle prizes. If anybody wants to donate a raffle prize, we get some great prizes, tools, we have grills, we have date night, baskets, packages, all kinds of great raffle prizes. You can just give us a call if you'd like to donate that raffle prize. We'd be happy to do that. The other thing is if you want to sponsor the event and you're not a golfer, please sponsor the event, donate your teams. I will fill those teams with first responders.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, give out your phone number one more time so people can contact you about all of those things.
All right, 520-515-4444.
And one more time before you go, invite everybody out to the Golf Scramble.
Everybody come out on May 30th at 7 a.m. at Mountain View Golf Course.
Well, thanks for coming and talking to us today, Michelle.
Thank you.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook. And tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First Watch right here on KWCD.